Hi everyone! Let's make some Zena's gluten-free, non-GMO bread mix at home. So here is everything that you're gonna need. We've got a bread mix, cup to measure that in, something to measure the water in, our tablespoons and teaspoons for the oil and vinegar, and a mixer. You can use a hand mixer, and you can also use just a bowl with a whisk, but you are gonna get a bit of a workout. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do, even before you start making the bread, is to preheat your oven. And we're gonna do 425, just like the bag says. It can vary from house to house, anywhere between 425 and 450. So now we can start our bread. Per the directions on the back, it is 2 cups of mix, and that is gonna get you 1 loaf. Out of this bag, you are going to get 3 loaves. So if you're wanting to make all 3 at once, you can triple that. If you want to make 2, you can double the other ingredients on there. And so yeah, we're gonna measure out the 2 cups, pop it in our mixer. So next we are gonna measure our oil and vinegar, 3 tablespoons of oil and 1 teaspoon of vinegar if you're doing 1 loaf. So I like to measure out my vinegar on top of the cup I use for the bread mix and not over top of this, just in case I over pour, because it is a small amount. So now we're gonna measure out our 350 milliliters of very warm water. If you have a thermometer, that's gonna be between 110 to 120 degrees, not higher, or it will start to kill the yeast. If you don't have one, it's gonna be comparable to a really hot bath that you kind of gotta ease into. So I've measured out the 350 milliliters of water, and I've got a thermometer, so I threw that in, and it is sitting right around 110, just over. So that is the money spot. So I'm just gonna pour my water in with my other wet ingredients. So let's pour this into our mixer and get this baby spinning. So I also like to give the container that I've had my wet ingredients in a little spatula to get that last little bit out. So, you know, oil likes to stick around. Just get that last little bit out, mix it on low for just 30 more seconds. And then you're gonna wanna give it a scrape on the sides and just make sure that all the dry and the wet are nice and incorporated, so that when you put it on high, it's not gonna spray flour or splash liquid all over your counter. And so now I'm going to put it on high speed for 4 minutes. Yeah, so I'm gonna put it at 8. So you've mixed it on high speed for 4 minutes. We're just gonna give the sides one last little scrape. And then we'll just incorporate that. And now it's time to put it in our bread pan and start shaping. So you're gonna wanna oil your pan. If you've got spray, even better. If not, just put some oil in there. And then with a gloved hand, I'm gonna spread it all around the sides. So since I made the single loaf, I'm just gonna scrape this entire thing with my spatula into my bread pan. I've got gloves on, and that is a awesome pro tip because you're gonna be oiling up that loaf. So you've got all your dough in your bread pan. I like to just use the measuring cup I was using before. Pop a bit of oil in there, and you're gonna wanna oil up your hand. And so you're just gonna wanna flatten it out everywhere. You can kind of push in the sides with your hand to form it a little bit. You're gonna notice that it feels nothing like gluten-y bread, and that is why you're definitely gonna want the oil. And then yeah, give it just a nice smooth top. And now, because we have preheated our oven in advance, I'm just gonna pop it on top of the warm oven. And so I'm gonna set a timer for 30 minutes to come and check on it. And what we're wanting is for it to fully double in size. So you can see it's here, we're wanting it to come out so that when you're like this, you can see it risen. I feel like a big mistake that a lot of people make with our bread mix is not letting it proof enough. And I think that has to do with not preheating your oven beforehand. So that's really gonna help. All right, so it's been 30 minutes, but it's a bit cooler in my house, so she's not there yet. We're gonna give her 20 more minutes and check back. So it's been that second 20 minutes with the first 20 minutes, so we're at 50 minutes, and as you can see, it is still not double in size. Now, this is where some people start freaking out and they're like, I should just put it in because how could it possibly need to rise for this long? And the answer is, who knows? I've made bread a million times at the bakery. Never has it taken this long. I've made bread at my house in the summer. It doesn't take this long. But today, she just wants to take her time and we're gonna let her. So I'm gonna give maybe 10 more minutes and I'm gonna check on it again. All right, so that 10 minutes is up. So we had the initial 30, the additional 20 minutes, and then the additional 10. So we are at 1 hour of rising time. And as you can see, it is definitely on its way there. So yeah, we're gonna give it 10 more minutes and we're gonna check back. I think that last 10 minutes is gonna be all it needs. Alrighty, so that 10-minute timer is up. So we are at a total of 70 minutes, 1 hour and 10 minutes, and it is coming up over the top of the pan. It is fully matte, and we are going to pop it in. All right, so let's pop this cutie in to the middle, and we are gonna set a timer for 40 minutes. The bag says anywhere from 40 to 50, so let's start with 40. All right, so it's been 40 minutes. Let's see how she's looking. Oh, it smells so good. And it looks great. It looks done. And yeah, so let's depan this. So I'm just gonna pop this onto our cooling rack and just flip it over. You can use tongs if you don't have baker hands like me. And now we're gonna wait for 2 hours at least. You want it to be fully 100% cool before you cut into it, as to not disrupt the structural integrity. Okay, so it's been 2 hours. It is fully cool. Let's cut into it. It looks so good. Wow. Yeah, that is perfect. So that's it, folks. Happy bread making. Cheers.